Hello everyone and welcome back for some more Drag Race tea. As I've explained previously on my channel, we had the amazing fortune of interviewing Dave previously, who many of you will remember being partnered with Jinkx Monsoon on Season 5's Makeover Challenge. And Jinkx actually mentioned him in the All-Star 7 Snatch Game as Judy Garland. And so I thought that I would talk to Dave and get his reaction. So please welcome back Dave Lara, aka Fortuna Monsoon.
It's really good to be talking to you again, Matthew. Yeah, it's been kind of strange this last week. I think it'll be over real soon once we see this Friday, which is today, this Friday's next episode. So it'll all calm down and I'll go back into obscurity, and that's fine with me.
No, well, let's hope you don't go back into obscurity. We want you on screen.
Thank you.
So obviously, as I said in the intro, I think people will remember you from the Season 5 Makeover Challenge. So just to sort of give a bit of background, how did this kind of come about? How did you find out about Jinkx mentioning you on the All-Star 7 Snatch Game?
See, there's a veteran named Dave who's been on your show, and he said he was worried that he killed me. And I want to say, Dave, if you're watching, you're not responsible, darling. It's all right. You're forgiven.
I got messages from Entertainment Magazine. I got something from them. This guy had found me on LinkedIn, for God's sakes, because I wasn't able to find you. And, I tried to get to Jinkx to get your number, etc. And then I think you sent me a message. And then there was another Out magazine also found me, I think, on Facebook and sent me a quick message. Have you seen the episode? Have you seen the episode? So that's how I found out. I found out from you people reaching out to me. It was odd. I was going to watch the show, of course, but I wasn't glued, ready to go. So, I was surprised.
Yeah, I remember I was watching it and I didn't really, obviously she was doing Judy and I didn't really clock the whole connection that you had on your season with Judy and everything. But then as soon as she mentioned there's a veteran, I was like, oh my God, I know what she's going to say. She's talking about Dave. So I messaged you and I was like, have you seen it? Have you seen it? It was really exciting.
Yeah, it was. It was kind of fun. I've got a great picture of her, by the way, Judy, that I didn't take. I don't have proof. But there's a great picture with her hair exactly the way the way that Jinkx did it. And so you will be amazed on how that hair was so right on. It's amazing.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask, so what did it feel like watching that, like sort of watching Jinkx as Judy, given that you met Judy?
That was actually kind of in the era of the time that I met her. I mean, that would have been that hairstyle she was wearing probably in 1964, 65, where she had it slicked back with the split curls. And I met her, remember, in 68. So that hair and the way she looked, so it just looked like her. It was kind of spooky. And her voice, especially when she first started, she was hitting it right on. And it was almost spooky to see her do it. She was channeling her so well. I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, it's probably, I would say, the best Snatch Game that I've seen. Snatch Game character. She was so accurate and just the voice, everything was amazing.
Yeah, the thing with the chords, she did that. Judy had a TV show in the 50s, just for a couple of years, 3 years, I think, 2 years. And one of her signature things was to take a handheld mic. And in those days, of course, there was nothing wireless. So there was always a long cord. And she would drag it along on the set and wrap it around her hands so that she would have, the freedom to move this. So the move was signature as far as audiences in the 1950s watching her on TV.
Yeah, I reckon I saw that because I'm a big Judy fan. So I was watching it, really recognizing all the references, and her voice, Jinkx's voice was so, not just the speaking voice, her singing voice was amazing to be able to imitate Judy, who was probably one of the best singers has ever been. That in itself is incredible.
Yeah, no, that she does have a voice. In fact, there's a couple of the girls this year that are good singers. So either way, yeah, she hit that. She had everything, many touch points. It was amazing.
It was an amazing performance. And so what did it feel like when Jinkx, obviously, because effectively she was kind of bringing it up as a joke, but I guess the whole might have killed Judy Garland thing. How did that feel with her sort of effectively forgiving you and saying it wasn't your fault in character as Judy Garland?
Actually stepping away from the character then.
Yeah.
I felt great. You know, I don't talk to Jinkx, but to have that little moment of where she remembered me and she used it effectively. I mean, I'm glad that she used it in a way to get her a win here, you know, but to use me as part of that process was an honor. It was a recognition of me. People like to be validated, and I was validated in that moment, and I felt really, really good. It was really fun, and just so cool, just so cool. I'm not out there begging for the attention. What I want is for people, especially the young LGBTQ people, to understand that there is still those of us alive that started this modern stuff. And so these kinds of references, these kinds of shout outs bring back to you young people that, hey, we're still here. And I know everybody gets creeped out. Oh, does he want me? Is he wanted to? Yeah, that's not what this is about. This is about you understanding that your history is still here and you still need to learn a little bit more.
Yeah, I think it was a great reference because Judy obviously is iconic, especially within the LGBT plus community, but also just as an icon herself. She was just so talented, and it's so important to keep those memories alive and to educate the younger generation that may not know 100% who she is. And so obviously this whole thing kind of blew up and went viral. And then obviously as a result, you almost kind of went viral again, given that it's been sort of 10 years or 9 years since you actually appeared on season 5. What was it like sort of suddenly becoming viral again?
We didn't become viral back then. I think when you stop and remember where we were 10 years ago, season 5, it was still new. And Drag Race was not mainstream yet. Not really. Artists, entertainers, and obviously the alphabet people, we all watched it. But you didn't have mothers and daughters sitting together watching the show together. It was not mainstream. So, yeah, this was the first time that I really got any kind of real exposure in a viral way. Back then, it was low key, very low key.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess the way you said it was back in season 5, it was still not quite, it was still a bit slightly niche, underground kind of people, only people within the LGBT plus community maybe knew about it. Whereas I think now it's been embraced by a much wider demographic and it's on a bigger channel and everything. It's got a lot more budget.
Yeah, definitely.
But you said, Entertainment Weekly and Out Magazine and a few others reached out to you. What was that like, sort of reliving all of that and that kind of getting that press attention?
A little bit frightening. Making the admission, I kind of have second thoughts about that. I wish I hadn't done that. But in the end, I hope that people who see it, and I should have said it when you and I talked, and I gave the big admission that why I'm saying it is, and I want people to understand, don't do what I did. In today's world, especially in the United States, the fentanyl is very dangerous, and people should not be getting those kinds of drugs off the street. They shouldn't be giving their friends that stuff. So really what I was, a little bit nervous about when I was talking, I really want people to learn from my mistake, because it was a mistake. And those that judge me and call me, there are a couple of them on your the last one where we did, are really pointedly angry at me. But I hope they understand, like I've said before, a different time, and learn from me. Take that as a lesson.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you read a lot of the comments, everyone's going to have their opinion. I think you've obviously admitted that it was wrong. It was a very different time. And also, I think if you read, actually, the majority of people were kind of saying, look, it wasn't his fault. It was a different time, and he shouldn't blame himself. And a lot of people actually were saying they were hoping that you didn't feel guilty, but they hope that you don't feel guilty or kind of carry that guilt. And they said, we love Dave. We would never want him to sort of feel bad about it, because he admitted that he was wrong, and it wasn't like he was trying to make an excuse for it.
Yeah. I let me put that to rest. I am fine. I really am. I've reconciled all of that. And so as far as my mental health, which is, I think what they were worried about, and that is really touching to me, I'm okay. I'm doing really well. And I'm very lucky that I'm here and aware enough to be able to forgive myself and just move on.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you're in a good headspace, because you should be, and everything, you've talked about it, you put it to rest so long ago. But, you've had so much love outpouring, not just from my channel, but just in general. So many people have been talking about it and everything. Yeah. I did actually see that you attended DragCon this year, which just happened. So what was that like?
Oh my God, it was amazing. I was recognized, of course, which was really cool. And it was a lot of fun. And I got to see Detox. That was so much fun. She whispered to me, was it her or one of the girls admitted to me, do you know I'm 50? And I go, but the paint made them look great. No, I had a really good time. Many people did recognize me. I could tell by the way they would look at me as I was walking around. Some approached, not a lot. I'd wish for more, because I am a media whore, as I call myself. I want my 15 minutes now, but it was great. I really enjoyed it. I got to see a lot of the queens. You know what I really liked? The merch. Mm-hmm. I don't have any here with me. I gave it away. They were presents. But the merchandise was amazing. I wish I could do it, but well, anyway.
Wow.
You know how the girls do. I wish I could do that.
Oh, wow. That's Pandora Box. Wow.
Yes, that's it. So it was either Pandora or Detox whispered to me as I left, I'm 50. I go, honey, talk to me when you're 70.
That's great. I love that. That's such a great fan.
So I love the merch. I really like the merch. Yeah, I bought some really cool stuff. It's expensive, I'll be honest. But you know what the hell? These girls got to make money. So, you give it to them. Otherwise, they're going to disappear on you.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, splash out. Why not? Splash the cash.
It's work. And in fact, when I was on the floor there, all of the couple of queens that I did go to talk to, their handlers were there. And, I go, what do you do? Well, I also do her makeup, or I do her dresses, I help. And I go, do you realize that RuPaul has created work, jobs, real jobs for people? And one of the guys looked at me and go, I hadn't thought of it that way. You're right. I wouldn't be getting the money I got if it wasn't for this. So it's an industry, which is good, because in the past, it was $1 being handed to you from a dirty stage onto a dirty stage. So this is wonderful. I like it. It's giving people a real living, and that's so much cooler than the olden days.
Definitely, yeah. Like you said, it's definitely become an industry, and there's so many people involved, not just the queens, but like you said, each queen has got a team of people doing all of the things. It's great. It's amazing. And it's such a nice opportunity for the queens, but also for the fans to actually be able to interact with the people that they love from the TV show, like you. I mean, so many people, I'm sure, did recognize you because you are one of the most memorable and iconic stars that they've had on the makeover challenges. I mean, I can't think of any others really that were as big as you, really.
I can't remember any makeover person, not to blow myself up, but they had the mothers, and they had the truck drivers, and they've had I don't remember all of the kind of scenarios, but none of them stick out. And then even my season, one of the guys reached out to me, the big tall one. He lives in Las Vegas, and he said hi, and noticed that I was on. But the other, I guess it's because I look so weird that it just sticks in people's minds.
I think it was just the attitude, and that you had so many funny stories, and obviously being the oldest and the Judy Garland thing, I guess that just cemented it, really.
Yeah.
Obviously, and so speaking of Judy Garland and you being with Jinkx, have you spoken to Jinkx at all, or reached out or anything?
Still not. The entertainment magazine, I should get the right, but never mind. He was going to do a blog, an interview, and he wanted me to do a shout out. So we recorded something. I don't remember what I said, but that never happened. It never showed up on Twitter. So he wrote it out, though. I mean, he wrote out an article of what we talked about, but I don't think he ever did that. So no, I still haven't heard from her. I think she's very busy, even though the recording has been wrapped up, but they're doing post stuff now, interviews, and I'm afraid she's just working. That's all. And again, we're not the best of friends, but we respect and reach out in a oddly electronic world just by these things happening.
And so obviously you said you recorded a bit. If you could, let's say you were recording this right now, a message for Jinkx, what would you say?
What I did say was, girl, you're going to get me in trouble. But what I will say right now is, thank you. And I have a real feeling that you're going to come out at the other side of this in a very, very good place. That's what I would say to her.
That's a lovely message. And like I said, I can see Jinkx going far in the competition. I mean, she's already proven that she's immensely talented. So that's great. I did actually ask my subscribers if they had any sort of follow-up questions. And there was quite a few. I've condensed it down to just a couple. So if we could go through a couple of them, that'd be great. Would you ever return to the show as a guest if you were asked?
I did a desperate search for the producer's phone number that I had. I haven't talked to him, for a long time, so that I could call and get to the winner's show. But I've lost the number and I can't remember his name. And I want to go on the show so bad, at least to see the winner stuff. I hope somebody from the production thinks of me and reaches out. But, oh, yes, I would go on the show in a minute. not as drag again. I don't think it would work this time. But, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I could be a judge? Man, what a dream. Yeah, no, I'd go on in a minute. And at a minimum, I sure hope I get to go to the finale for the crowning.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I'm sure we'd all love to see you. So, I mean, obviously, if anyone from the production team is watching, please contact Dave because we'd all love to see him. And one of the other questions was, which kind of, I guess, leads into it. Someone said, what does it feel like to be part of such an iconic moment in Drag Race history? And then a similar question was, ask Dave how it feels being an icon in all caps.
I wish I was an icon. To be honest, I did nothing. This is just a replay of what I said and did 10 years ago. What it is a moment for Jinkx. And I know this sounds like I'm just trying to be, that it's all the artists, not me, but it is. This is Jinkx' big moment. And that I got to be part of that is such an honor. I'm not an icon. Jinkx is the icon by using me. And I will take that role anytime. So really, Jinkx is the icon. I'm just that part of what she used in her toolbox of things to get the win.
Great. She is definitely an icon. I think so are you. I think, if you're the most memorable person that's been on the makeovers, and there's been how many, 14 seasons now, plus all stuff. Yeah. And if people still remember you all this time later when Jinkx mentions it, I think that gives you icon status.
Thank you. I'll take that graciously. I love it when people did say that I was not old enough to know Judy. I recognize that I look strange. I don't look like all the other 74-year-olds out there. I don't know why that is, but I'm lucky. So there are things that who I am make me the iconish kind of guy, and I'll accept that, no problem.
Great. So you've got youthful looks and icon status. I guess that's all you can want, right?
Exactly.
Dave, thank you so much for this update. And I was so pleased that Jinkx shouted out and mentioned you. And I'm so glad that you've had all this attention. And I hope that people will contact you to be on the show, or at least people will just send you so much love, because there's already been so much love for you anyway. So I hope that continues.
I'll let you know if I hear from the production. And it was really, really good to talk to you again.
Yeah, lovely to speak to you too. Thank you so much, Dave.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.